Desmond Chu.
PQ number 10, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, total retail sales excluding motor vehicles in July 2022 were about $3.4 billion, which is an increase of about 18% year-on-year. This is an increase of 4.5 times year-on-year. Let me repeat that again. Hotel room revenue in July 2022 was about $319 million, and this is an increase of 4.5 times year-on-year. So both sectors, the retail and the hospitality sectors, have recovered to comparable levels in 2019 before the COVID-19 pandemic, with retail sales even exceeding 2019 levels. The recovery was boosted by the healthy rebound in travel, with 1.5 million visitor arrivals in the first half this year, which is nearly 12 times more than the same period in 2021. We expect the recovery to continue, though global geopolitical tensions and economic slowdown may slow this recovery. The pandemic has been a severe stress test for many sectors. The 23 industry transformation maps, or in short we call them ITMs, are being refreshed and updated to incorporate insights gleaned from the pandemic and to address new challenges and also to seize opportunities arising from it. Specifically, the retail and the hotel ITMs will need to ensure that the sector's manpower, supply chain, operations, and revenue streams become more resilient against pandemic and other disruptions. The ITMs will also aim to boost the abilities of our companies to seize new opportunities in the digital and sustainable space. More details will be announced when we launch the retail and the hotel ITMs later this year.
Desmond Chu.
I'd like to thank the MOS for her reply. I have two supplementary questions. It is very encouraging to see the recent improvement in these two sectors. Will the MOS be able to share more on the depth and quality of the improvements? And second, while these two sectors are doing better, they still struggle with manpower. So what will be the plans to attract more workers into these sectors? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank the member, Mr. Desmond Chu, for his two supplementary questions. And indeed, both the retail and the hospitality sectors, like I've mentioned in the PQ answer, have experienced a rebound and recovered to pre-pandemic levels. Of course, we still have to monitor the global development, the situations, especially the very volatile geopolitical tensions. I mentioned earlier that this year we had 1.5 million visitor arrivals in the first half of 2020. STB project that we should welcome 4 million to 6 million visitor arrivals for the whole year in 2022. This augurs well, not just for retail sector, hospitality sector, but also food services sector. And he asked for some numbers. Let me share that in July this year, we asked the hotel sectors, in July this year, we understand that the average room rates for hotel reached higher than pre-COVID levels at $259, compared to $94 in 2019 before COVID. And the average occupancy rate of hotel has risen to about 79% in July 2022 versus 58% a year ago. And for the retail sector, we track these numbers very closely. Total retail sales this year from January to July, over 7 months, have averaged about $3.3 billion per month. And what is very noteworthy is $3.3 billion per month is comparable to per month average of about $3.2 billion in 2019, which was pre-COVID. So like what Mr. Desmond Chu has mentioned, retail, hospitality, and also the food services sector, they were the hardest hit sector by the pandemic, of course, including aviation as well. And these sectors, retail and hospitality sector, have shown incredible resilience and grit. And the improvements that we are seeing today are really hard-won by the retail sector, hospitality sector, and to some extent the food services sector, in terms of their determination to adapt, transform, pressed on with digitalization and do things very differently. Allow me to use this platform to thank the TACs. We have been working very closely with the TAC. For the hotel sector, the Singapore Hotel Association. For the retailers, it's the Singapore Retailers Association, and including the Restaurants Association Singapore. Working very closely to press ahead with productivity gains initiative, with raising the innovation capacity, business transformation. And so having said that, having seen this rebound, it is important for companies in the retail and hospitality sector to press on in their business transformation journey to be more productive, more competitive, and also more cost efficient. And like what he mentioned, not forgetting to upskill and reskill the workforce to stay resilient against disruption. And to his question, the second question, how do we attract more Singaporeans to these sectors? And we speak very regularly to the companies in retail and hospitality sector. We have tried different manpower initiative, talent attraction. And in order to attract more Singaporeans to the hospitality and retail sector, companies, we have been encouraging them to redesign the jobs. Redesign the jobs, and we do so in partnership with MOM, Workforce Singapore, E2I, to create roles with larger, more meaningful work scope, which then can offer better wages, higher salary, and very clear progression pathway. And in addition, they can also complement the job redesign with technology and digitalization to be more manpower efficient. So we will continue to work with the companies in the retail and hospitality sector to ensure that moving ahead in post-COVID, we are able to future-proof our companies and also workforce in these two sectors to be industry relevant, to be future ready, and to be market relevant.